there's a collaboration with classical music and Afrobeats, just like what we did here. So that's the only thing that can make. But basically, and only if classical music are played more often in radio stations, like we have Afrobeats, and maybe in clubs or something, if classical music are played, it can appreciate people listening to classical music. But if without that, I don't think people can appreciate classical music like that in Nigeria.
Okay, great. Let me come to you.
Something I want to say linked to that is that also in Germany, not everyone loves classical music. In fact, in my school, I was basically the only one in my year who really enjoyed it. So that's another interesting thing. So, Afrobeats, unfortunately, we don't listen to it that much, yeah.
Okay, so do you think it was easy merging Afrobeat and classical music from what has happened in a couple of days?
To be honest, I don't believe that it was a huge challenge because, as we said before, music is a universal language, and even if someone can't completely read the score, they just listen to it and manage to play it. So, I mean, it worked. Also, of course, the guys from Nigeria who play the classical instruments, they helped because they were kind of the connection, I think, between us and the band from Adebantu. And of course there were challenges, but in the end it wasn't that big of a deal. We just played together, yeah.
Thank you very much. What would you say is your biggest takeaway from the project so far?
I really take away the hospitality of the Nigerians. We were really welcomed here and it was really nice.
Let me come to you, Mary. What has been your biggest takeaway so far from the project?
Okay, my biggest takeaway is the concerts, not a concert, an open areas that we did yesterday, collaborating with classical and Afrobeat, and the audience that was around more of the white, the black, those ones that know classical more without Afrobeat, and those ones that know Afrobeat without classical. So now joining those two sounds together to make a perfect music. It's a big thing. It's a big thing for me. I'm very sure for everyone it was a big thing. And they really enjoyed it. And we also enjoyed that. So it's a big one.
So thank you very much. That was it from our classical musicians we have Germans and then we have Nigerians who are part of the Beethoven Fest project for 2025. Thank you so much for watching. This is DW 77%. Keep watching. Bye.
Now, those students prove that classical music and Afrobeat can blend beautifully together. But what about a little Amapiano? Maybe our next guest can take on that challenge. Mandisara Debe, better known as Durban Gogo, brings big energy and good vibes to her DJ sets. Her tracks are known across Africa, the US, and Europe. We caught up with her for this exclusive chat.
I want to know from you, what inspired your name? What does DBN Gogo mean?
Oh my God, it's such a long story. Okay, I'm from Durban. DBN is an abbreviation of Durban, so I'm from Durban. And Gogo is like your grandmother, but I interpret it more as your ancestor in music, your spiritual guide in music. So I am your Gogo from Durban that navigates you through this world of entertainment.
And you are a DJ. How's been the journey so far?
It's been quite incredible. I've been DJing for the past 8 years, 9 years. Oh my God. Yeah, it's been quite the journey. I've always been playing house music, so basically electronic, up until I started playing Amapiano, which is still house in a sense. I still feel like it's the first time I started. It's pure and genuine.
And how does it feel being in a male-dominated industry as a DJ?
I really want more girls to join. You would think with the attention that a lot of the women DJs have now that there's an influx of women, and there really isn't. I still need more people to break down those barriers, come and join us and be there so that we can have and take up more space. Men still underrate us. They still see us as less than or not worthy.
You're meant for the other room.
Yeah, or we can only do this.
Yeah.
We can't do both things at the same time. But you know what? It's fine, just makes us work harder.
And now, I mean, there are so many girls in Africa watching us right now that would want to become a DJ. Like you said, you want more women to join. But our parents sometimes are still like, a hard nut to crack when they have to take you to school. They expect you to be a doctor, a lawyer, a pilot, or whatever.
I don't blame my parents. They struggle through a lot of adversity. They're still doing that. Even us today, it's not that we're not fighting battles. We really are. I want parents to allow people to genuinely and naturally go into the things that they think they can do, things that they deserve. I think the hesitation from them is more of they understand the industry is a dog-eat-dog world. You can be hot today and not tomorrow. But if you genuinely have a talent and you know what you're doing and this is like your heart and soul, pursue it because you really never know.
And I'm sure Durban Gogo will be topping that energy when she plays at Afro Nation this year. Now let's travel to Kisumu in Kenya, where you can enjoy the best sunset views over Lake Victoria with a drink in hand and, of course, great music. This week's My City tour guide is singer Ivy Dulo.
Hi guys, my name is Ivy Dulo, coming to you right from the shores of Namlolwe, all the way from Western Kenya. And you're watching DW 77%, and this is my city, Kisumu!
Kenya's third largest city sits on the banks of Africa's biggest lake. A cultural capital for the country's Luo people, Kisumu is known for fresh fish, stunning sunsets, and irresistible Benga rhythms.
I love my city, Kisumu, because it's a very beautiful place. As you can see, we have the lake, we have the hills that surround us, and we have amazing people. People are very friendly. So when it comes to music in Kisumu, Kisumu has produced so many great legends. An example is the late Ayubo Gada, who took our music all the way to Hollywood. I love music. It's who I am. It defines me. I feel free because you know something about music. When it hits you, you feel no pain.
Kisumu's growing population has put a strain on its most precious natural resource. The degradation of Lake Victoria, or Namlolwe as the locals call it, caused Ivy's music to take a turn.
So for us, this lake has been a source of our livelihood. It has also a connection with our culture and our economic growth as people in Kisumu. But sadly, since last year, it's been facing a lot of threats. The lake started having lots of plastics in it, making the lake die to an extent where fish don't have food anymore. So that's the reason as to why I decided to be an environmentalist in Kisumu and just clean our lake. I want these lyrics of this song to inspire the people of my city to be able to know the consequences of what we're doing to this lake and to know the importance of this lake.
Ivy doesn't limit her environmental advocacy to the concert stage. Most city residents live in informal settlements like this one. And it's here that Ivy's anti-pollution crusade gets hands-on.
So we're in Koyango, my place, my hood. This is where I live, and we're on our way to a plastic recycling workshop, and we're going to meet a few of our young environmentalists. Can you imagine all this came from the lake? We're going to shred these plastics through this machine and get to see what we're going to get.
Precious Plastic Wanyata is headquartered in Kisumu's largest slum. Young waste pickers take plastic waste from waterside dump sites and transform them into household objects and trinkets they can sell.
Wow, isn't this beautiful? This is the end product from all the waste that was collected in the dump site.
For Kisumu residents, the lake is more than just an important economic resource. It's also a place of relaxation. And what better way to enjoy it than with a sunset cruise on Namlolwe's gentle waves?
I love my city and I love my lake, and I'd love for my city people to come together and preserve this lake for the future generations.